Well, welcome everybody. Welcome everybody.
7 o'clock.
It's 7. It's time to start our little chitter chatter.
Child, look, I'll be ready to do it.
It's Queen Lee.
Child, today's episode had me on the floor.
We so excited today.
You guys, I'm so glad we got to see Steffy today, but I need to get something off of my chest.
Uh-oh. Let go, let God.
I need to get something off my chest already.
Uh-oh.
Can Sheila wash this man's face?
That's what I'm saying.
He looked like he got some dried up chicken noodle soup around his mouth. His eyes is all red and crusted over. He got jaundice.
He got jaundice.
Bubbles. I told you she need to change that man's IV bag. That's the problem.
He looks like vomit.
He does. It looks like throw up on the side of his mouth.
If vomit were a person, it would look like that. You can't convince me otherwise. He looks like somebody threw up in that bed.
I told you them bed sheets and everything under them covers need to be burned.
That room gotta stink. That room has got to be the ripest thing in LA. You know, if they want to find Finn, maybe they should just put a track dog on it because I'm pretty sure a track dog would find him in about 2 seconds. Like, whoo, child. And
Can somebody
windows in that room. Oh,
can somebody chime in the Brat Funkified?
So
we not gonna talk about Mike reading Sheila today.
He sure did. But why he go in the room like, oh, so after all this time, now you know good well she ain't got no romantic inclination towards you. But if she did, y'all, they could be a fucking powerhouse couple. I mean, she crazy. He would have to pump the brakes every now and again. But they might as well, like that, they have been a super couple for about 30 years.
This man sitting here about to wake up. She gonna tell Mike, you can't be here when Finn wake up. He gonna tell us, yeah, I'm out.
He don't tell me twice. He was right because look, he jailbroke Sheila with the understanding that she was gonna get the hell out of Dodge. But as usual, that's not how it worked. He like, I didn't get myself involved in this for you to stick around and then kill somebody, and now you got somebody captive up in here, and you telling me I need to go? No problem.
Okay, I'm trying to go anyway.
Well, he said, where is Lee? And she was like, well, what had happened was, no.
No, what got me was, I think Finn heard the whole conversation, so he was just like, let me just sit here for a reason. Let me just find out who this is real quick. He opened his eyes. He looked scared. I'm just like, let's see.
Did you have a crazy ass hand over you? I'd be scared too.
She said,
Did y'all see the chill that? Did y'all see the chill that came over Steffi's body?
Yeah, because she could feel her man wasn't gone, even if she don't know it. She
don't know what that feeling was.
She don't know what it is.
Every time, the whole time she was mentioning Finn, he woke up. Here goes Sheila. All you heard was, Mom. Here she go. Honey, I'm here. Heck no. Oh, heck no.
So much. Oh, you know what? I was wrong and I miscalled this. Sheila wasn't never going to go after Hayes. She trying to go after the child that got away. And typically, all the kids get away. Scotty got away from her crazy ass.
Yeah.
Then the other Finn over. Did she go after the other Finn too? She pretended to be. Yeah, she did. Did she go after Lauren's youngest son too when he was in school? Because remember, okay, so she went after.
I think so.
In school, but then when she came back this last time, Scott wasn't on the canvas, but Finn was. So this is the second Finn that she's had. Lord, see, she got a habit. She always going after the ones that got away. She had a perfect baby. She could have kidnapped easily, but you over here trying to keep people alive.
Finn sitting in that bed, the cover don't move. He looking at her like, what the heck are you doing here?
And I guarantee you, when he was saying mama, he was not talking about her. He thought he saw his real mom.
Girl, no, he ain't talking to you or about you.
But she sure think it. Oh, I was like,
Yes,
girl,
she
that
do.
man is not asking for you, baby.
Yes, she do think it. She
And
just
then
and
she
did
gonna
y'all catch the
tell
lie?
Mike.
Did
She
y'all
gonna
catch the lie that she said?
she gonna tell Mike, "Oh, I saved him." You ain't saved him the first time. You may have
When
saved him
she
the
was
second
talking
time.
to Finn, she's starting to lie already.
Oh,
She's
trying to take. Oh,
telling
when she
Finn,
tried to take credit for Lee's good work.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I heard
She's
it.
sitting on it at that last scene. Yes, ma'am. She's starting to lie already. Come on, I did. I brought you
Sam
back
said.
to life again.
Sam said that was gonna happen. Sam said it was gonna happen.
Where is
She's
Steffy?
looking
Does
at
she
him
have to
like,
work
what the
tonight?
hell is this?
Uh-huh.
But see,
Said,
today was a textbook example of why being Sheila's accomplice is a thankless ass job. Now, Mike knows she crazy. He known she crazy for 30 years, okay? And so he's sitting up here trying to, and he has done this previously in previous years, trying to interject some reality into her crazy, mixed up ass schemes. Like he said, she's like, he's telling the truth. He's like, what you gonna do when he wake up? What are
Yep.
you going to do when he wakes up? Because in Sheila's head, Finn is supposed to be so grateful that she saved, I'm air quoting that saved his life, that apparently he's supposed to completely ignore the fact that she's the one who put his ass in that bed, or that she's the reason that he's not with his family. Because Sheila is an ex-nurse. You wouldn't know it by how she acted today. But
I
when a
swear.
person but when a person is coming out of something like this, there's only three sets of people they want to see: their kids, their parents, and their significant others. She ain't none of those three people. So
But you
she
can't tell her
just no, you sure can't.
his moon, his sun, and the entire galaxy. His kid, his child, his children was Steffi, and Steffi is an afterthought. As a matter of fact, she ain't even in his brain.
As
they
far as she's
sitting
concerned,
back in here fussing in front of Finn. I know Finn probably was like, "I'm up now, and I can hear y'all directly. Now, can y'all shut up?"
Right. If I wasn't awake before, damn it, I'm woke now.
I'm
What?
woke now, looking like death warmed over. And also
And
that's the other thing. She talking about she said, I saved him. I'm like, girl, you want credit for saving him when you the one created the situation? And let's be real. Finn only needed a defibrillator because obviously she has no idea of whatever
Yep.
the plan of care Lee
Yep.
had him under, wasn't able to continue it once she killed the woman, and that's probably why he flatlined.
Like I said, that whole plan, when I told y'all, I said that whole walkie-talkie thing, that recorder that Lee had talked into before Sheila came into play is going to come back and bite her in the ass.
Yeah, because she was taking notes on everything on the.
Exactly, like a real doctor does.
Mm-hmm.
She logged all that stuff in.
As Finn was waking up, Sheila gonna sit next to him, rubbing on his chest. I know he probably was like, "What the hell is this on me?"
Y'all know what I think, though.
What's up?
She wouldn't be going through all this if she got.
Well, she wouldn't be going through that if she wasn't spying on Lee. Because we still trying to figure out who was Lee trying to call.
I think
You can't say she wasn't calling the cops, and you can't say she wasn't calling the pharmacy because Sheila didn't give her a chance. She snatched the phone and stepped on it and ruined it. But like I said, that thing gonna come back and show that's the last call what she made from.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And Jack gonna put two and two together
And
and go find his baby boy.
I think we get Jack tomorrow, huh?
I believe so. Because it's supposed to be back to back Steffi and then Jack. I think you're right.
How Jack gonna get across that security?
Now, one thing I want to discuss today, and I have issues with it. I want to know something. Why the hell is Ridge Forrester so handsy with our Taylor, and he going back to his regular ass wife in Beverly Hills? Can somebody answer that?
So he keep on his side, just in case Brooke mess up again.
Well, I tell you like this. You never
Don't
been.
do it, Can. Don't do it. don't do that. Don't do it.
You know why he's doing it, girl. You know why he's doing it. But that's okay. That's okay. It's hey. Let him go ahead and cross that bridge one more time. Let him go ahead. That's
He
fine.
gonna sink again. Watch.
We gonna be
it's
all
gonna
right.
It's
that
like
bridge
the
already
Titanic.
on fire.
It's like the
It's
Titanic.
still fire.
It's just gonna keep sinking, and he don't see it yet.
Because honestly, at this point, I'm like, first of all, I'm sitting up here knowing, okay, I know damn well that this week is the week that Ridge is going to tell Taylor that he going back to Brooke. I know that. You know that. Most of the audience that follow spoilers for that. But so I guess also all this, you have great instincts and I'll always protect you. And all this other bullshit that makes me want to vomit. I'm like, you know what, Ridge? You need to just go ahead and tell that woman that you reconcile with your tramp wife and that you are moving back to Beverly Hills so she can know that.
But the day before that,
everybody seems to feel like it's going to be gloom and doom for Taylor. Taylor don't get too squat. She ain't been sitting up here holding no visual whether he gonna call it or not. See, that's the thing, and this is why I like the way they playing it now. She just going with the flow, and when you go with the flow, one person's decision is not going to stop what you're going to do, and that's how she been playing it. If you ask me, so how her heart gonna get broke if she don't really care? Like she would love it, but at the same time, she don't care, and that's how she been playing it.
I won't say that she doesn't care. It's that she is not giving Ridge any more play than he's giving her, so to speak. Meaning, she's not investing herself. She cares. Yeah. She definitely cares. But she's not trying to get invested while Ridge is still a question mark up in the air. Because ever since he moved out of Steffy house and into Eric's, that's basically what's been hanging over his head. Question mark, question mark, question mark. So my thing is that
pretty funny that it's even a question mark. Like it's the whole point. Like how do you just come out of nowhere? She just come in town and she's this whole big option. Like she got a whole option in his life. Like that's crazy, in my opinion. But whatever.
Exactly. Well, no, but that's the thing. Ridge, if Ridge is really as devoted to his marriage as he says it is, it shouldn't be a question mark. The thing is, Taylor will be okay. Ridge deciding that he wants to go back to his marriage is not going to ruin Taylor's life, thank goodness. Because they'd have Krista playing this like, you know what? It's his life. He get to make his own choices. He at Eric's because he's trying to make up his mind. So I'm not taking, she more or less told Thomas, I'm not assuming anything. Mm-hmm. Okay, he's at Eric's because he wanted time to think and sort his feelings out, and that's what he's doing. And when he finished doing that, we'll know whatever the hell it is we gonna know. And whatever it is whatever it is. So I do like the way they have Krista playing this. What I'm side-eyeing the whole thing is, here's the thing. We know Ridge has made a choice. Ridge also knows that he done made a choice. I'm sitting over here watching. Boy, you sure like being up in that woman's personal space to say you got a wife to go back to.
But see, people are failing to understand Ridge don't got all the control. Ridge is not the one that's calling the shots, because if that's the case, then he and Taylor would have slept together while they was living in Steffy house. Taylor put the brakes on him.
Taylor not sleeping with nobody else.
Exactly. She not Brooke. She's not finna sit up there and try to force him to put the reins in her court. Like, no, go ahead, make your decision, because when it's your decision, that's fine. But whatever you choose is whatever you choose. I'm not finna stop my life and begin my life on your decision. Unlike some other people.
Taylor was sitting on that couch.
Took a 3-month sabbatical from work because her marriage crashed. That tells you pretty much all you need to know.
But was she really working? I thought she was just a rapper.
She still wasn't working. She was sitting at home.
Not really, but she couldn't even be bothered to go into the office and make it look good.
But that's just gonna show she's not really working. She's just a relic in the forced creation hallway. Like
She
She just
talk about
proved the
some.
point.
Oh,
Like,
Taylor hurt her. Taylor didn't hurt you. It's the other way around, man. Tell the truth.
no, she
Oh,
had
who
her
said
stuff.
that? Sheila full of shit. And Sheila up there blaming Lee for being dead. I was like,
Well,
ma'am.
it kind of was Lee's fault for all this. Sheila was the only one that found her. It kind of
I
was
mean,
Lee's
but
fault.
Sheila the one who killed her technically. So I'm like, how you
Well,
blaming
she
the
said.
dead person when
Well,
you
she said
killed her?
Sheila off because Sheila was trying to figure out who she was talking to. She dropped the phone instead of her going somewhere else to make the phone call. She gonna stand there right at the door, and Sheila gonna pop her head. I'm just like, oh, here we go.
See, but that's the thing. Sheila killed Lee for two very distinctive reasons. On the surface, yeah, she killed her because she thought she was going to dime her ass out to the popo for certainty. But you see how aggressive Sheila gets whenever anybody calls Lee Finn's mom. So
Yeah, she get real uptight.
yeah, she didn't just off her just because she was afraid she was gonna run to the cops. Sheila could have probably wrangled Lee's ass into a spare room, knocked her out, which unfortunately probably would have been easier than it should have been, and tied her ass up and kept her there if she had been thinking for 2 seconds. Because look at her now, scrambling because she didn't know what to do with Finn. But she didn't just kill Lee to keep her from snitching. She killed Lee because Lee has the spot that she wants, the spot of Finn's mother. And in Sheila's mind, this is like Highlander. There could be only one. She feel if she knocks Lee out and gets her completely off the board, then by default she is not just Finn's mother. She's the only mother he has left.
Well, she already did knock her upside the head, knock her out.
But
She
see,
could have she could have just tied her up
that
right
shit
there.
ain't gonna work with Finn though. Finn ain't gonna give a damn if she is the only one left.
He didn't open the door for her to be his mother, his biological mother. But after when he wakes up and finally puts the pieces together that she shot him, oh, it's over.
Get them people on damn ashes, like I said.
Girl, you gonna be on them ashes to the end of time.
Lee could have burned some trees for that man.
Service.
She could have burned some trees for that man. Just gave it to Steffy like, here. This woman been asking for ashes for how long?
Since April something, and it's July.
And Lee still haven't gave up no age. Well, she can't now because she's nowhere to be found for right now.
Well, the thing is, I find it very interesting. Well, I mean, we all know from the picture from John McCook's celebration party for his Emmy, we all know that Naomi Matsuma hasn't gone anywhere. But even Mike made mention of the fact that nobody ain't said nothing about a car going into the water. So,
nope.
So my thing is this: it's a soap. You know that, and Sheila should know better than anybody. She has been thought to be dead too many times herself. That she should know that if a body ain't turned up, they ain't dead.
But listen, what if Sheila hallucinated that whole thing? Think about it.
Wait a minute. Hallucinating what? Hitting the truck and going into the pier?
Yeah, because think about it. Lee left before Sheila did. Lee had a pretty good head start on Sheila. I don't even know how Sheila saw what kind of car Lee was in.
She was standing in front. She was standing behind the truck when she pulled out. That's why we was like, why she didn't back up on a crazy ass girl?
When Sheila came out, Sheila was looking both ways. Lee didn't turn on the car till Sheila turned around. That's how Sheila found out. And then Mike showed up.
But then she had to wait for Mike. Then she took Mike's car to pursue her.
Mike was over there talking about some. Why did you call me here? She's talking about some. Just give me the keys.
I think that Lee got away from her, but I think Sheila might have fantasized the part about hitting her because there were absolutely no police reports about an accident at all. That shit blew up. It wasn't nothing on the news. Like, it's the whole next day. And Taylor and Ridge ain't said nothing about, what about that explosion out on the pier? I wonder if that had anything to do with Sheila.
Well, you know what? I think people will be looking more so for Lee and be questioning her like whereabouts more if she was more involved, if she wasn't so secluded and she wasn't so withdrawn when people will call and contact her, maybe somebody be out looking for a crazy butt right about now.
That's the point of Jack coming getting his ass back in town finally.
Right.
He is gonna be looking for her.
Mm-hmm.
One more memorial.
The point is there was a huge accident. It doesn't matter who was in the accident. There was a huge accident with an explosion and nobody is talking about it. Like, we know they don't really talk about the news. We don't hear news unless, it's something like on Y&R and they want you to hear that somebody had a plane crash, whatever. But there's no mention of this weird ass accident in the middle of the night with a car exploding. Like, we hear shit like that in Nashville when it happens. But I don't know who. But if something like that and a car going off a bridge or
I don't know, maybe it's like Chicago. Like, it's shit happening every day. And that's LA. It's shit happening every day. So I guess it's like, if it's not somebody famous or if it's not somebody related to one of their other stories right off the bat, maybe they're not reporting it right now because they don't know all the details. Like you said, maybe it's not reported to the authorities. Maybe nobody really saw anything yet. But maybe once that come back into the play, it'll come out.
That much time hasn't passed because that accident was the last thing that happened that night, and we still on the day after. So there's are we like 2 days after that happened?
No, I think you're right. I think it's the next night. I think you're right.
Okay.
I think so
I'm gonna go back later and check. So first there's that, and two, but here's the other thing. Let's say Sheila has completely gotten into a whole damn mental spiral where she is actually seeing vivid delusions that she thinks is real. If that's the case, then we still need an explanation for where Lee really is. Because Sheila is the one place where if Lee was able to be, she would be.
Mm-hmm.
Child, I don't know. If I just escaped a lunatic, I wouldn't be trying to get back over there. It does beg the question of if she's okay, why she ain't called the police yet. But maybe like
somebody can kick that door in by now.
Right.
Yeah, like he's sitting up there. He done put, Rich and set up there and put all type of security on Steffy house and at Brooke house and at Force and Creation, and they still haven't got in contact with Lee. Like, ain't no red flags.
Talk about some two big dudes outside of Steffy house. What?
Well, see, but first of all, those dudes should have been there, and two, that's exactly the point. We have all this security at Forrester. We had security at a damn wedding that Sheila wouldn't give a hot damn about. We got security at the Cliff House. So the thing is, you know where Lee, you know where Brooke is. She's secure. You know where Taylor is. She's secure. So the fact that nobody can't contact Lee should really be worrying folks.
Right.
Because if Sheila's on the loose, and she is on the loose, then she looking to settle up some scores. And if she got scores to settle with anybody, she can't settle it with Steffy because she's in Europe. So that
goes to show another negligence, like a drop in the bucket of deputy do nothing. Like, you look at her visitor list and see who's visited her, and you can go and track them people down and be like, oh, well, she's broken out of jail. You don't just call the victim's family. Like, her visitor list is Brooke and Lee. Like, you ain't contact Brooke nor Lee and told them nothing.
No one cares about no one cares about Brooke. Well, we can say
we don't care about Brooke. But I mean, the thing is, if the cops are trying to track down an escaped damn prisoner, you would want to say, okay, we looking for their known associates, and we looking for people they may want to settle a score with the second they got out of the jailhouse. And let's be honest, Baker know that both Brooke and Lee was up in there talking mega stupid to Sheila.
Exactly.
Bo done pulled a Halloween Kills with this storyline. With Sheila getting broken out of jail. Just like how Michael Myers got broken out.
Yeah, because when he introduced her as her visitor, he had that big smirk on his face, like, yeah. You got
What y'all
another
talking about?
We talking about Deputy Do Nothing and him not sitting up there sending out an APB on Lee whereabouts.
He too
Like
stupid. I'm telling
he
you,
done
Oh, you
he's
talking
sitting
about hot dog?
at that police station eating hot dogs, eating his cookies and all that. He don't care.
We even saw that.
Exactly. Because Sheila there's a visitor log of whoever visited Sheila. And there's only 2 names on it, Brooke and Lee. Don't you think, and Hot Dog know they talk stupid to her. So don't you think that you would want to talk to both of those people?
Well, Brooke
And
tried to talk.
let them know that she's escaped her.
Well, Brooke tried to talk stupid, but then she mad at crazy Sheila.
But that's okay, because Jack will be here tomorrow and Jack will send out the smoke flares.
Jack probably be like, have y'all seen my wife?
Look,
the last time I talked to your wife, she tried to cut me off about trying to get my daughter some ashes for your son.
I mean, at this point, as funny as I found it, that it's gonna be Bridge trying to track down where Sheila is and who her associate is. At this point, I guess we need to be grateful for it because the police ain't doing the damn thing, not even the basics.
Not even the basics. Like, that is not even something you gotta leave the police station to do. You literally just sit at a computer desk and look at people's last visitor log. Like, that's nothing. But
the last time he was saying was when he came over to give Finn stuff back.
Steffy required no help in getting a confession out of Sheila herself and cracking her own case.
Child, Steffy set that up great. But ma'am, you don't set crazy up in your own house. That's what you don't do.
Well, she kind of didn't have a choice. They had to get her to actually show up where they wanted her to show up. And telling her that she could see Hayes and that they wanted to talk things over was good bait. Yeah. And it worked. They got out there and then they did the cops' job for them. So apparently, Forrester Creations needs to just, give up on this fashion thing. They ain't designing nothing worth a damn. We ain't having no fashion shows. We don't have a rival fashion house. So apparently, the entirety of Forrester Creations is Mystery Inc. because they're busy solving crimes because the police can't do shit.
Remember Rescue Ranger talking about he was gonna look out for Lee? Sir, you can't even find Lee. You're not gonna be able to find her. I don't know how Sheila did it, but
and yeah, I think a lot of that, like Maya said, the story has a lot of major holes in it. Yeah,
I mean,
craters.
Yes, it does. I mean, I'm trying not to be too picky, just because considering we spent 3 months listening to Brooke go, "Why did I drink?" and not having nothing else.
Please.
Jesus.
Exactly.
You got a good point there. That's all you had to say.
I know. So I'm trying not to be too critical.
It started off with, "Why did I drink?" and then her trying to get Douglas to shut his mouth about her kissing Deacon.
January to April, y'all.
Exactly.
And then Douglas still told it.
I mean, so I'm not going to be too critical. Now, one thing I did see, because we were speculating about this when the summer previews came out about the reunion, and when we found out everybody was going to Monaco. So at this point, Steffy is in Paris. If that drop down scene is any indication. So at some point, she's going to go from Paris to Monaco.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they set it up like that, because if we dropped in with her being in Monaco today, it's the first time we've seen her in a month, I'd have been like, so she just gonna be milling around Monaco for 2 weeks before we even get to the part of the story where Finn even gonna be heading that way.
So that's what I like that they showed that too, because that's what she always goes, not saying that she doesn't go anywhere else, but like when she wants to recollect and regroup and readjust and do everything all over from scratch, she always goes to Paris. So I'm glad that
last time she was at Aspen, came back.
Well, she don't really go to Aspen no more because that was her place with Liam. So that's over, and I get it. We don't need to go back to Aspen no more.
did you
ever.
just say that, Reginald?
What?
Did Reginald just say that?
He did.
Oh, Reginald, you foul.
He said
No, what was foul was Liam sitting in that daggone kitchen talking about some, telling Steffi, when Lee left. Oh, I'll look out for Lee while you gone. Sir,
Nobody
you
asked
not
him. He said Steffy
nobody asked you to
come
look.
out.
like nobody asked you to stay. Go.
Well, luckily he was staying at his little cabin. He could stay there.
Can we get a round of applause for Bo for not putting anybody named Liam and Hope in the whole episode?
Thank you, Jesus.
Because I was like, can we just not get them in the episode when we see Steffy for the first time in a good while?
One thing I'm grateful for is that they are not shoehorning them into this entire issue with Finn and Sheila because they don't belong in it.
Yes, I love it. I hope it's a beginning of a separation.
Put them wherever you want. Let them be dabbling in Brooke's business. Let them be dabbling in Eric's business. I don't give a hot
Well,
damn.
Hope dabbled in this business already. She
But
told
I
Liam
don't, but, and that's fine. She could be all up in that. I don't care.
Yeah.
I just don't want them being, because the show has had a nasty habit of that over the years. This need to just shoehorn Lope and Steffi into the same story, even when it's a story that they don't all belong in.
Amen.
Because they want to play up, right? Because they want to play up on that 12-year tension that's always existed between the three of them because of the triangle. Well, guess what? The triangle's over. Lope is happy with each other. Steffi's in mourning for the husband that she wants back. So y'all don't need to play up that tension. I'm just happy because you know how we all thought this was gonna go. We thought this was gonna be super Captain Save-A-Ho, Liam up in here figuring out everything. Where Sheila is. Is Finn really alive? Did Lee fake his death? That's what I was afraid of. That they were just going to drop Liam dead in the middle of the story and have him cracking all the mysteries like he's the person to do that. Damn that.
Mr. Concussions can't even figure out how to stay on with his wife. How the hell he gonna crack the case?
No, he can't. He don't know how to keep his mother-in-law out of his marriage.
Let that be. Well, no, that's the thing. Brooke ain't been. That's the thing. When Brooke's own marriage is having trouble, she can't be bothered with Lopez. She don't give a shit what they doing, whether they having sex or not.
Child, they was about to do it on her floor. Deacon comes rushing in. Here she go. Deacon, what are you doing here for the third time? Like that.
When ain't nothing going wrong in her life, to leave that child alone with that man that's supposed to be her husband and the kids playing house down the road.
I ain't gonna lie, that was a legit question though. Cause I'm sorry, if I had come back to, if I was coming in and out of my house, and somebody who ain't a resident or who I haven't invited over is at my house every time I come back to my house, what are you doing here?
Well, she let him run roughshod. Talk about something. Oh, you can go see your daughter. But now she's talking about something. Oh, since Rich coming back, you can't be here no more.
Well, see, but that's the thing. That's how it should have been from the start. All she did was come around to the thinking that she should have had from go. Because the bottom line is, Deacon spent more time up at the big house at Brooks than he ever spent at Hope's cabin, and that was the damn problem.
And that was the problem. Amen.
And he still never seen his granddaughter.
Yeah, he was walking in the door, not even knocking, just like, hey,
putting
Rich,
his feet on the coffee table.
like it's okay.
With his legs cocked open.
Have we even seen him interact with Beth? I mean, not too many people do, but since he been out of jail,
you mean Beth?
He been on we have not even seen him interact with Beth.
Well, not for nothing. I don't think we done seen Beth this year.
Oh yeah, that's bad. But I'm talking about ain't nobody said nothing off as far as off script, like off camera.
Right. Well, right, but that goes to prove the point. Even Sheila may be a crazy ass psychopath, but she's right sometimes. And she was right when she said, you ain't just here because you want to see your daughter. You here because you want Brooke. So I'm sure he may have popped by the cabin a few times and went coochie coo with his granddaughter, whatever the hell it is that he does. But yeah, he was more interested in showing up at the big house so he could be skinning and grinning in Brooke's face.
I done told y'all the next story that they want to have for Luke is them doing on the floor and Brooke coming in. That's exactly what they should do with them.
Exactly. Well, well.
I
See,
don't
now
want to see
that's gonna
that.
be funny. If that happened, I'm gonna kill myself laughing because if you trying to tell me they made us suffer through all of this BS with Brie just to do that. You trying to tell me I had to listen to that heifer moan about what she drunk for 3 months just so I don't for whatever it was too long. She
Mhm.
should have stopped saying that after 30 days at the max. If
Yeah.
we had to suffer through that, all that crap just for that to happen, I'm gonna be pissed because like I said, I want Bridge to be a self-contained problem, just like Lope is. Lope is contained inside their cabin, and I need Bridge to be contained inside Brooke's house.
Well, Red's house actually, but but yeah.
Honestly, at this point, I'd be so disgusted. All this for because remember I said yesterday that one of the problems on this show is that they don't know how to put couples back together and leave them together for a while.
Nope.
Mhm.
They have that
Mhm.
bad. They have that.
Mhm.
You used to have cup like it was one of the reasons that I got turned off of Steam so quick. Aside from the fact Liam being an asshole, it was because every time something happened and they broke up and they got back together, it was not even 2 weeks later and they was on breakup time again. I got sick of it. And that happens for a lot of couples. So if they drug this mess out with Bridge just to do that, I'm gonna be aggravated. Put them back together and let Bridge be miserable in Beverly Hills where he belongs.
Yep.
He already is miserable. He can't make a choice. But
He
sooner or
he
later,
is.
Taylor
He just he
but
just gotta
now
fix
he's
I,
his
making his
mouth to say
choice.
it out loud.
But now he's
I
gonna make his
enjoy.
choice.
I totally enjoy Ridge and Taylor scenes as they stand right now. They're not together,
Hmm.
and I love the
They
scenes
parents.
regardless. So
They're,
he can stay married to Brooke. When he comes
yes,
over
he
to the
can.
Cliff House and he's hanging out with Taylor and Steffi, I will enjoy the scenes.
Oh no, that's fine. I just want him to go ahead and first of all, in the mystery, because one, I don't want no more of this parent trap shit with Steffi and Thomas. Period. I
Thomas the only
want
one doing it now.
well, yeah, because Steffi's got her own problems since she's in Europe now. But that part, as long as Ridge has not declared that he's going back to his wife, we're gonna have to listen to one of the Tridge kids play up how Ridge and Taylor should be together and how he hasn't gone back to Brooke yet. So that must mean he's coming back to mom. I need that cut because I'm tired of it.
But they're not going to because that's Belle's thing. You know that
Ugh.
he's
Mhm.
don't I don't know who cares about Brooke and Ridge, but Belle. Honestly, I think everyone is freaking over it, and I know that that doesn't mean every single solitary soul, but the bulk, the main majority, just don't give a damn anymore. So
I
he's
mean,
the
And
only one hung
and
up
went
on it. It's
to
not gonna stop. He brought
and
Taylor all the way back after decades and recasted her to plop her
mhm.
right back in the same position with this triangle. So we
Ugh.
I think you're gonna miss the
Ooh.
exit. Oh
Which
no,
I
never
could
mind.
and
do.
when
Never mind. We good.
When Thomas finds out that his father going back
Yeah,
to
because we
Brooklyn, he
still
gonna
up
have a
north. My bad.
fit. He is going to
He
have a
probably
Yes.
is.
fit.
He probably gonna. I know he's gonna be disappointed in his dad because, well, here's the thing. Let's forget for a second that the people on this chat have been watching this show soap for decades, for years, for weeks, for whatever. Forget it for 2 seconds. Let's say that you started watching Bold and the Beautiful 30 days ago, okay? And a part of this is because of one, the way that Thurston plays this. If you look at the interactions between Brooke and Ridge, and then you look at the interactions between Ridge and Taylor, ain't nobody gonna believe based on how the interactions go that the blonde is the one he's supposed to be with.
Right.
True or false?
And that's how come. Um.
As soon as
Oh, I'm
Taylor
sorry.
got
I got
back to
distracted.
town, as soon as he got
Yes,
back to
you're
town,
that's
goodbye.
absolutely true. It's absolutely true. And that's how come I literally just said that. Taylor and Ridge scenes far outweigh in pleasure than those Bridge scenes. Ridge is always screaming, she always begging. There is no sexual chemistry, in my opinion, at all.
It never was.
And plus all the stuff that's unseen that we know. We know they hate each other's kids. Brooke would take the first opportunity to shank his children. I mean, she'd rather shank them than kiss them, honestly. I mean, I just don't see anything. positive in that relationship. I don't know why Belle don't see it. I mean, it's 35 years old. Don't you think that he would be like, oh, well, I think I done did all I can do with this?
And
But
it's
Both
no,
not
of
even,
he
it's not,
persists.
it's to the point to where it's just like, how can you be with somebody who despises the existence of your children?
both of them
Like,
Correct.
don't
That's
dislike
that's
each
how
other's
come.
children.
I think that's probably the biggest thing for me because
that's
this
not
is the
biggest,
only
that's
show
my
that,
issue. That's always been
yeah,
my
this,
issue. That woman loves the existence of your son and
and
both of your
daughter.
daughters. So
She
it's just like,
and
if
she can
female
say,
was
and
around,
she
she would be another obstacle for them to get over.
she
Well,
would
and
say, I love Steffi. You know I
no,
love
Sean,
Steffi,
that's
but she loves
bullshit.
to say it, but she's
She'll
not
say that in
done
front of Ridge,
anything
but then
loving.
when
She don't even have a conversation with Steffi. When you know how you sometimes
She
see
loves Steph.
families.
The most she has liked Steffi is since Steffi fell in love with Finn. Okay, because at the end of the day,
Yep.
Steffi has and always will be, even when she's not interested, competition. Because one, all that entire mess that played out at the hospital, I ain't even gonna put most of the blame for that on Hope. Most of that was Brooke crazy ass.
Yeah, I don't remember none of it being Hope. I remember it all being Brooke and her insecurity. Like she just
Instigate.
was, yeah, she just was all way too invested in in what was going on in that room. Only time you saw some insecurity was when Hope was eyeballing that window.
Yeah, and
It's
Brooke was
because
there
she
the
was
whole time.
projecting.
Not one time did she go in there to give Steffi any well wishes.
No,
She was
and
at the
she was
hospital
right
all the
outside the
whole
room.
time. She was out there
It's because she was
guarding Hope's
projecting.
husband. She was right
It's
guarding Hope's husband.
right
she's
because
Hmm
she was
sitting over there
From
having
projecting.
a
from the
fit.
comatose Steffi.
Because she was projecting because she's sitting over here gazing at Ridge being trying to be Taylor's backbone in this tragedy, and seeing
Hmm
her husband being all cozed up with his ex because they're so concerned about their daughter and what's happened to her and their son-in-law. And so she just took all the insecurity she felt from that and projected it onto Hope and Liam and Steffi.
Let's
Like,
not
Yeah.
Steffi wasn't staking no claims on nothing from no hospital bed. And the worst thing Hope can do 90% of the time is listen to her mom.
let's not forget when
She gives
Kelly
the
was born.
worst advice.
When Kelly was born, she was over there talking about some. Why don't you and Liam go elope? Excuse you. He got a newborn baby with Steffi. Why would he go elope with the woman that called off the wedding because she finally found out a lie that Steffi's
Oh
been
yeah,
telling y'all for
she was the
months?
main pusher of that. She couldn't when Steffi was pregnant. I couldn't stand, and it's probably why I still can't stand. When during that whole storyline, it was so horrible, how Steffi was treated that whole year,
Yeah.
not just by Hope, Liam, and Bill, but everybody.
I
And I
always
think
say
that's
that.
why I have so much. I have forgiven Bill, for it because it took a long time. I mean, when we get affected by something personally on these fake soaps, it is real to us. So when I was triggered by Bill, it took years for me to get over it. But I will never get over Brooke and Hope when Steffi was pregnant. They
Oh
were
no, they
Yeah.
were terrible.
vultures
Steffi
picking
had
at
the
dead
worst
carcasses
pregnancy in soap history and the
at
best
the hands of the
delivery.
saints.
And Hope had the worst delivery, but the best pregnancy.
That's one of the
Steffi didn't
reasons
even have a
why.
great delivery. Steffi had complications when she was delivering. That's why she had to push so hard at the end. There was
No,
something
but
That
going
no,
on.
no, but that was expected. That was good. That was good delivery considering her pregnancy. How
Well,
she grew
I don't
all the way
think
up
nothing
to
was
when
good
she
about it.
fell.
Wasn't
Like
nothing good
that
about it.
whole freaking pregnancy was terrible from the announcement
it was
all the way till
trash.
she fell down.
To through the
It was
whole thing, even
it
through
Yeah,
the
was
whole
nothing
thing, it
misery.
never ended for me because she went home with a newborn that she was nursing, and a week later she caught her baby daddy dusting off a tramp. So
Which is why
I'm
Liam
very
stays not
bitter
shit forever.
by that whole story, and I don't think I will ever get over it.
But see, that's the thing, and that's one of the reasons why I was happy when we got confirmation, during the COVID break that that they had actually cast another male lead for Steffi, because the bottom line was this: Belle made Steffi's first successful pregnancy hell on earth. Then he
hmm
proceeded to just make everything after that pregnancy hell on earth by having her plopped in the middle of a stupid ass triangle, trying to cope with being a mother and worrying about Hope and her BS and all of this crap. And it was like,
No
no, I know
satisfaction
it's
for
not
anybody watching for Steffi. Let's just
right.
put it that way.
Exactly. It was like it was trash. And when it
Like,
came
when do
down
we
to
get a
it,
payoff?
when she got pregnant a second time and she got pregnant with Hayes, that pregnancy, with the exception of how it started, that
But
pregnancy
that was a
actually
lot though. I'm still
it
bitter
was.
about that. The only thing we got out of that was the delivery, because all through the
Just
whole
like
pregnancy,
Kelly.
it was a COVID pregnancy. Kelly's delivery was trash. I didn't like nothing about Kelly's
I
labor,
liked it.
delivery,
I
birth,
liked it
nothing.
Kelly's delivery. I
I
liked it a
didn't.
lot better than I liked it a lot better than her whole entire pregnancy. I'm sorry, but that's just my
Well,
opinion. I
there's
like
nothing
the
worse than
fact
the pregnancy. There's nothing worse
her
than Steffi's
pregnancy
pregnancy.
and her aftercare was terrible. Like
Correct.
everything after she came out of that after what she saw in the dressing room all the way until with Bill and all his manipulation, I just couldn't. I can't take it. I'm like, are you trying to literally break the character? Like, what is the deal?
Yeah, yeah, they just kept piling on, and it was a year. It was practically a whole year. I mean, I remember we had a break for, what was it, Thanksgiving or Christmas? We had just that mini little break where it was no tension. I don't know, it was either Thanksgiving or Christmas, but before that, it was
It was
tension because
Thanksgiving
he was
because
still hiding it.
Christmas got torpedoed because Hope decided that she could dictate where Taylor could go. So it was
Yeah,
Thanksgiving.
it
Right,
was.
exactly.
Girl, Steffi
So,
said
like
my
like
love
I'm
ain't going
saying,
nowhere.
everything about that whole everything from the end of 2017, all of 2018, all of 2019 was purgatory. It all needs to go to hell. Um, that's just my take on it. Um,
No, I don't blame you. But I'll be honest, I don't really have any beefs about her pregnancy with Hayes because once the paternity issue was
well,
done, it was smooth sailing.
but how
She
much?
got the
But how much time was that?
not
I
that
mean,
much. Not
that was
honestly, not that
literally the
much.
whole time. This it right here. Didn't complain that I was
Hey,
chatting
that
the
she
whole
got
time.
rushed because
Did
of
you
her
guys say
real life
anything?
situation.
I mean, yeah, because Jackie was
So
pregnant
listen,
in
this is
real
what I was
life,
saying.
so most of her. Hmm?
Yeah, this is what I was saying. So, when Steffi was pregnant with Hayes, first off,
Hmm.
what we didn't get was her to announce some happy news to her baby daddy that she was pregnant. So we fucked again, just like the first time. And then secondly, we find out that Finn is not the baby daddy. So all that time is fucking hell to me. And then when we finally do find out that that Finn is the baby daddy, it's still COVID restrictions. We had our little reunion, but then they fucking disappeared off screen and didn't come back until it was a month before her to have a baby, and we only saw her 2 weeks out of that month. So
Well,
all
yeah.
that was
Well,
trash to me.
okay.
All
That's
that,
well. That's the
even
thing.
Hayes's,
That's just life because
Steffi's
Jackie had a
pregnancy.
baby in real life, and as long as she's intent on having her children and spacing them like that, her next pregnancy might play out like that. That part. So that
I'm not
part
having
that don't
no. I
bother
we
me.
need no. Why can't she have one pregnancy where her husband is the father? She tells him they have a happy moment, and they go on through the pregnancy that way. Can't we have one? We
Not
haven't had
Maybe,
any
apparently.
yet. The first one, she
Apparently
lost her
not.
maybe.
husband, and before
Apparently
she was
not.
even healed up, Hope and Liam was kissing behind her back, so respectful.
Mm-hmm.
And then the
Okay,
second
In
I
one,
her
don't. The
she
first
was
family
harassed the
pregnancy,
business.
whole
her
pregnancy, and the
first
third
preg.
one,
In
I
her
Liam.
family
Nobody's gonna
business.
argue the point that her first pregnancy was trash. Nobody
Her
is gonna
first
disagree with
pregnancy
that.
was garbage.
Nobody.
First,
It's
second,
pure
and third.
trash.
First,
And
second,
then
and third.
Clarissa did her first pregnancy after Aspen. I hated it. I despised Belle for that because it was a slap in every Steffi fan's face because that was supposed to be an ideal happy time for her. Like she just
For
got
her and Liam,
pregnant.
but that was supposed to be an ideal happy time for Steffi and Liam fans because after a
Period.
freaking
Yeah.
decade, they finally finna have their rainbow baby, and then what happens? Steffi's dragged
Yeah.
relentlessly and tirelessly, basically for 2 fucking years.
That rainbow was groundhog.
But we got Donna Logan in the house, and she's cheating with a married man until the cows come home. No issues there. But y'all know I get real bitter about this kind of thing. Please don't get me started.
I'm not. We gonna agree to disagree. First pregnancy was trash. I would once the paternity issue was settled with Hayes. I had no issue with it. If you didn't
We
like it,
just
you didn't like it.
we just need Steffi to finally tell Kelly the truth about her father.
She's not gonna do that because you don't. She's not going to. She's not going to do nothing even close to that for all the obvious reasons. One, because that would actually kind of make her a bad mother if she did.
If she did what?
If she disparaged Liam to her child's face at this age, she can't do no mess like that.
It's not going to be up to her to do that. That's not her job to do that. That's going to be Kelly's job to see her truth about her own father.
Exactly. When she grows, when she gets to her teens, if her father is still as raggedy thin as he is now, she'll sort out her own shit. But yeah, Steffi not gonna be that type of person. That's parental alienation. You can't be doing that. We think Liam's a piece of shit, but she's not gonna let her daughter think he is.
Exactly. That will make her have a real complex about herself.
Well, no, that'll put Kelly in a position of having issues with her daddy and her mama.
When she finds out that Liam never even tried to provide a home for her, that she was never good enough for him to provide a home for her, I think she's going to have some issues.
And that's fine. And that will most likely happen when she's a teen and old enough to put 2 and 2 together and get to 4 and realize just how jacked up the timeline is in regards to her and her sister. But yeah, but she's a kid.
She need to find out. And she need to find out.
And she probably will.
When your mom was pregnant with you, I got Hope pregnant with Beth.
Yeah.
Well, once kids learn about math and where babies come from,
that's only if Bill don't fuck up the timeline just like how they did Hope and Steffy. So good luck on us thinking that's gonna happen though. Because
that's the thing.
She's working on it right now because Kelly finna come back on the scene and she finna be 6 and apparently Beth is still 2.5 in pull-ups.
Yeah, they really are pushing it because you can say out of sight, out of mind, but they have actually been pushing it to. I mean, I think the last time I heard them talking about Beth, they had baby bottles and binkies and shit.
Yeah, and you can see the toys and stuff like they to clean up around the shack, and they put away Douglas and her toys. Her toys are still those developmental toys that they have for babies. That's crawling on them little blankets. Like
that's all of them.
It's crazy.
All of them have the same toys. But they be carrying a baby bag, talking about get her binky. That's bullshit.
It's bull.
But that's the thing. The show very well may end up trying to put. They may end up doing in reverse with Kelly and Beth what they did with Hope and Steffi. They aged Hope up so that her and Steffi would be considered, contemporaries, and so that they could be rivals to each other, be it for Forrester or be it for men. But so they might do the exact opposite with Kelly and Beth, meaning that they may want to try to age Beth down rather than have it be very obvious that they're ghetto twins.
Once Red steps down and Steffi takes over,
they went out of their way to make sure that
to clean up Liam's crappy reputation.
They knew they were casting Hope to be pregnant. They wanted them both pregnant, so they're not going. I don't care. I don't know what they're gonna do about age, but I don't see them.
I got a question. Did y'all see the reporter said something about Hope supposed to be getting a visitor or something that's not going to be a Spencer? She's finna get
who the hell could that be? Do we have anybody on the show who's not a
partner coming up, and that's not a Spencer?
I don't know.
Unless they bring Oliver Jones out of the path, there's literally nobody else. That's the thing. Hope has no romantic history. Basically, she had Oliver, she had Liam. Whatever the hell you want to call what she had with Thomas, but that's it.
Wyatt,
her real baby daddy.
Well, yeah, I mean, Wyatt, but he's Liam's brother. That's not one. They got Flo, who they could kill.
Her real baby daddy coming back.
Don't do that. Can't don't do that. Don't do it. We don't. Wyatt has already been tortured enough being with a felon. We don't need him to be the baby daddy because Liam gonna be
First of
falling
all,
out.
Steffy is not finna be the only contemporary in that same category who finna have a who baby daddy. Who's the baby daddy? No, she got two.
Well, that's just bail, though. I mean, that's just bail. I mean, he's already got in his mind that he'll do anything to Steffi. He'll hoot a daddy her 2 times in a row, have a shot laying in the alley. That's what he does to Steffi. That's the cross we gotta bear.
They still haven't got that baby tested yet. Anyway.
I don't see him letting. That's the thing. I don't see Belle ever putting Hope in that position because even through the affair where she had every reason to be done with Liam and she wasn't, he has written Hope to consistently only want Liam no matter what, which is just crazy.
Yeah, until she did. Until she wanted Wyatt.
Darling, no. And what is this? When Wyatt was fresh on the scene, Hope was
Hope has been busting it down.
Kim
Matula's Hope, yes. This one, no. And he has shown no inclination to write her being interested in other men. Period. He has not even let Hope's eyes wander nowhere, even when she should have.
Well, her eyes have been wandering on that wine bottle.
That's the thing, though. It's not infinite. It's not definite until there's an end. So it may have not happened thus far.
Nobody knows the future.
No.
Oh yeah.
I don't
nobody
know
knows
why
the
y'all
future.
so interested in that. Why can't she just want Liam? They trash. They ain't no good for nobody else. I don't think they have a place anywhere. This is my thing with Hope and Liam. As long as they are not screwing up Steffi's story and they're not weighing her or her story down with their bullshit, give them something to do. I'm okay with that. I just don't want Steffi involved in it. Something to do. And it is no point in messing up any more male leads. You see what they did to Thomas for Hope.
Well, Wyatt already ruined because he was that felon. So if they want to roll like that, go ahead.
Thomas had a full-on meltdown and then gave his child to
I
her.
don't want Thomas involved with Hope no more. That ship has sailed.
Well, his new relationship is going to be that new person that need to come in needs to say, get back your son, please.
Yeah,
I want to know where Lee is at this point because today's show was hopping. Y'all know, I worked today in the office.
Mm-hmm.
Again.
I'm so glad
you watch the soaps today. Huh?
I'm so glad you got to see the show today.
I did. I got to see what I was gonna watch today. Steffi came back, so I did watch it. We had a good show. We had Taylor and Ridge being a good mother to Steffi. We finally got out Steffi, and we had Sheila and Mike doing dirty things. So it was a really good show today.
Waking up.
Yeah, he woke up. He was grumbling and mumbling, but Steffi.
Yeah, after Sheila made him well done.
Sheila is just so much right now, y'all.
He done went from groveling yesterday to now waking up to seeing the big monster that shot him in front of his face.
He's gonna be lucky. Finn hair gonna be spiked to the ceiling from all the electricity running through his damn body. She up here shocking him like he Frankenstein. I was like, girl, turn up the voltage. Mike was like, I ain't turning up a damn thing.
Mike said, you're not fixing to have my fingerprints on shit.
He was like, you ain't making me no accessory to this. No, look, I'm already in trouble for busting you out of jail. You ain't getting me on no murder rap because you done fried your son.
He said, no, I don't think you understand who I am.
Finn was getting ready to go out and
flying under the radar. I'm not fixing to put my fingerprints on nothing.
Finn went out again. Here she go. Oh my God, he's gonna die again. You gotta do something. Sheila, your nurse instincts are kicking in, aren't they?
To say Sheila is an ex-nurse. Well, let's be honest. She's I don't know. What do they call it when you lose your medical license? It's not disbarred or defrocked, but whatever she is, she don't have a license to be a nurse no more. So her license has been pulled in any state that she's been in, Wisconsin and California. So She up here acting plumb loco crazy. Because granted, yes, she doesn't want Finn to die. We don't want Finn to die. We all on the same page there. But the page that we not on is that in her head, she thinks that Finn is supposed to be, I guess she thinks there's going to be all this gratitude for her saving his life and stuff. And she's just deluding herself at this point.
Where's all them notes that Lee has been taking? That's the question.
Well, they were on her tablet, in her laptop. And 10 to 1 is probably password protected. Because here's my thing. That's what I mean when I say Sheila not rational. Somebody, a rational criminal who was trying to do what Sheila trying to do, they would have wanted to find out what the hell Lee's plan of care was for Finn before they threw their ass in the water.
Yeah, Sheila is hot-headed, and she acts before she thinks, and that's why she always killing folks.
Well, Lee tried to play her. When Sheila heard that beat, that was it.
That's typical Sheila in a nutshell.
Sheila heard that beat, went over there to the room. Lee thought she can mess with crazy and then got flipped over a chair.
Well, that's the least
Rolling Thunder, and she's gonna sit up there and lie until the dogs come home to Finn.
Well, unfortunately,
I just cannot wait because I'm not liking the cosmic connection so far. They need to be more direct with this cosmic connection. I'm seeing the little subtleties, but I want it to be direct, unmistakable, and undeniable. I'm trying to find the cosmic connection.
We done got to send flashbacks, and that's probably what woke Finn up.
I love the flashbacks.
He was expecting to see his wife. He done saw something he didn't want to see.
Well, what I really want to know is this. I want to see if Finn actually remembers any of what he quote unquote heard while he was unconscious. Because they say people who are in comas and out of it, they hear what's being said around them sometimes. So I wonder if he heard her with her crazy self.
Right?
She gone crazy because here go Mike. Sheila, where's Lee? I can't tell you that.
Okay, so no, we don't get Jack tomorrow. So the spoilers for tomorrow say Ridge and Taylor vow to make sure that Sheila does not escape justice. Finn awakens, startled by his surroundings and his situation. Because obviously, he's going to be trying to figure out where the hell he at. And who knows what lies Sheila going to say until Finn start to remember his damn self where the hell why the hell he is where he is.
Oh, he going to want to know where his wife is. Tanner said in the interview that Finn is fully aware that Sheila shot him and tried to he is fully aware that Sheila shot him, and he is fully aware that he purposely stood in front of the bullet because he saw Sheila trying to shoot his wife.
Yeah.
So
by
Finn
by the end of the week. Well, no, but that's what I mean. By the end of the week, because keep in mind, we only get 19 minutes to show a day. So all of that ain't happening in the same show. So by the end of the week, Finn is gonna be fully on the tip of like, you shot me, you tried to kill my wife,
right?
What the hell? But before Finn actually gets to that full realization, Sheila's gonna try to manipulate him because she doesn't want him to remember what she did. She doesn't want him to remember that she's the reason that he's in this racked out condition, looking like he just rolled up, looking like he just came back from the grave. With no wife, no child in sight, all alone in a room with just her. In what world would anybody want that?
And they still got that man sitting on his back. I know his back gotta be hurt.
What?
Well, I know Tanner probably had a good time. Like, I'll be happy to get out of this damn bed. Y'all done had me in this bed for a couple weeks now.
Yeah. I'm sure he's happy to be out of the bed.
So the question is that by the end of the week, Oh, and y'all saw that we got a hearing on the 12th, huh?
Oh, Lord.
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
At 10 a.m. It's starting at
10 a.m. So 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we will not get bold on the 12th. But that's kind of okay in the sense that this hearing then been pure soap opera. So that's next Tuesday. This hearing then been pure soap. These hearings are pure soap opera all on their own anyway.
Hey, darling, you have some crackling in your audio.
Oh, hold on.
Y'all sure that wasn't me?
Well, I
How
know
about now?
typing, Speedy. That's much better.
Yeah,
Are
I
you?
wasn't
Okay.
typing, but I heard some static on my phone, and I know it was my battery.
Oh, okay. Well, because I'm on my laptop, but I'm on my cell phone right now because my charger's acting crazy right now. I probably need to replace it. So yeah, no bold next Tuesday, but we don't have the spoilers yet for next week, so we don't know what the hell we're gonna end up a day off by.
Please let it be a Paris something with Paris, not something with Finn. So
Let it
so
be
you can
that
just skip
damn
that.
party that they're supposed to have at Eric's at Brooks' house. It could be that. Bump that for a day. That's fine.
Because no one cares about Eric talking about some, oh, Donna's coming back and forth. I don't think you want to do that, sir.
He's stupid. He gonna do it. He think everything that because here's the thing in his head, because he's a damn simpleton, he thinks everything has worked out just fine. I mean, think about it. He been dicking around on his wife all this time. Then on top of that, his wife, soon to be his ex-wife, then confessed that she loves another man and has proceeded to go ahead and go get her man. So in his head, what he's thinking stupidly is that, well, you know what? Quinn's so happy with her whole situation with Carter that my situation with Donna in the subsequent way this is our lives are supposed to proceed, not just personal but business, because personally they don't have, none of those people don't have to see each other if they don't want to. It's the business side that's a problem, because they all work at the same place, and him
Quinn works
thinking,
in the place right across from where Donna's supposed to be sitting at. That's
right,
going to be a problem.
and him thinking that it's a good idea to put all of these people into one building is crazy. Now, Quinn is the owner of Quinn's Jewelry, and it's making Forrester hellfire money. She ain't going nowhere, nor should she. Carter is your COO. He ain't going nowhere, nor should he. So why would you want to drag Donna into that and make for an uncomfortable workplace? Because he think everything is just all settled and it's not gonna matter, and that's gonna blow up in his face, as it should.
Well, y'all know everybody's happy, so maybe they just gonna leave these people happy until Zoe comes back with Carter's baby or Paris ends up.
Turns up pregnant.
I could just imagine how that's going to go down when he bring her back. She's sitting at the receptionist desk. Quinn walking down the hall. What are you doing here? Oh, well, Eric brought me back. Well, I don't need to talk to
Mm.
you. Stay away from me.
I don't think she's gonna go. I don't think she's gonna say anything to Donna because they're all happy. She doesn't have any reason to say anything to Donna because she is with Carter and happy. Eric ain't
Mhm.
her husband no more. So she gonna be beefing with Donna for being at the office for? She
No.
ain't got no reason for that
She
now.
should be beefing with Donna for sleeping with her husband for months. It don't
Right.
matter to me. If it was me, I wouldn't care if I done went on ahead and found love again and I'm happy. That don't mean I'm ever gonna forgive the woman that slept with my husband behind my back for 6 months.
Nope, because you guys already know that they've already painted this as Eric wouldn't have if Quinn hadn't in the first place. So
Which
let's
we
not
all know is
pretend that we
bullshit, but
don't
yeah.
know that that's not how they set this up to put all the blame on Quinn for this.
Exactly. So but that's my thing. And in Eric's head, everything has worked out. I guess is the optimum phrase of it. It's all worked out. Quinn is with Carter, and I'm with Donna, and everybody can live happily ever after in the land of 90 whatever the hell.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he sees it. So he doesn't see any problem in getting Donna to come back to Forrester Creations to do absolutely nothing. But yeah,
Yeah, because that's soap stupidity. Because nobody would do that in real life.
no.
Bring the
Not
side
before the
chick
divorce
right
is
on up there to
finalized.
work with the wife that has $1 million multi-million-dollar brand at the company. He's not going to be dumb enough to bring in his side chick whose highest income level was a fucking secretary.
Hey,
to,
Sam.
to poke his wife to poke the ex-wife that's a money maker.
Hey,
but that's how stupid this show is.
Sam, we didn't think he'd be dumb enough to be seeing her, the CD. We didn't think Eric would be dumb enough to be seeing Donna at the family club, but lo and behold, that's exactly where the fuck they were.
I knew he was dumb enough to take it there. You didn't think he was dumb enough to take it there.
I really did not, girl. I really you gonna take your hoe to the place where the family goes? The place where the babies go to the pool? Like, I just really could not believe that he would do that. Like, after all the years, that just shows how much he didn't care.
Exactly. He did that, and that's part of the main point. He doesn't care. He thinks that everything has just been settled, that everybody has gotten there happily ever after, that him and Quinn weren't right for each other anymore, and that they're now both with the person they're supposed to be with. Mm-hmm. So in his head, there's nothing wrong with bringing the trash back in from the curb and putting it at the front desk to be a receptionist.
Yeah, right. He should be smarter than that. He's at his age, he should be smarter than that.
It's not a matter, but that's
those two things won't mix at the office, and he should prioritize the money maker over his tart. He can have somebody else do the paperwork, because Donna ain't working them out.
No, if he was going to do that, he wouldn't have been screwing around on Quinn in the first place.
And this is the same shit he did to Stephanie, honey. Eric is not.
Eric has never prioritized the business, the welfare of Forrester Creations over his dick. That is
I know. I know. And some things never change.
No, that actually is consistent with his character. Crazy as it may be, that's actually consistent. As out of character as the show will write certain things, that's not out of character. Not for that bastard. He thinks it's all. Let's look at it from a realistic point of view. Even after the whole belief matter and Brooke getting 51% of the company, even after all of the events tied to that past, and the company went back to changed hands and went back to other hands. Eric was never concerned about Stephanie having to put up with Brooke. He never cared. Even when they got remarried, he didn't care. Because by that time, she had 2 children, and she was already integrated into it, and everybody was just going to have to like it or love it.
I will say, though, Brooke at least did contribute something to the company once upon a time.
Yes, she did.
Once upon a time, she created the fucking best ass fabric anybody in the fashion industry ever saw. So she earned her place at that time. I wasn't mad at Brooke when she took the company back then, because fabric is making y'all just like Quinn Brewer is making them right now. So, but I doubt we will see Quinn pulling the Brooke and getting 51% of the company, because the stock ain't set up like that no more.
No, it's not. Not with the way the stocks are split, and also not with the fact that they have a cooperative agreement already. So the whole thing with Brooke was that they basically screwed her out of what they should have paid her for the formula, because they didn't have her under contract when she invented it. So they Forrester couldn't.
She done got what she deserved out of that.
Yeah, y'all know what? I don't understand how people can say
she didn't get it from that formula. She done got it in alimony decree. Like,
listen,
you can't tell me she done got that plus double. So I support her. She done married the daddy down to all the sons. She done got her share cut.
Yeah, she got what she wanted out of it. She got ownership of the company back then. That's what she wanted, and that was Stephanie and Eric's fault for not having her ass under contract when she was developing that formula. Right. That was on them.
No, that was on Eric, not just Stephanie. That was on Remember, Stephanie didn't have the problem.
I said Stephanie and Eric. They were the owners of the company. They did not take care of business to make sure that formula was their intellectual property. And Brooke caught them slipping. I mean, That's what happened. She caught him slipping and she got him. Now, and none of it matters not because she don't got a stock to her name and neither do her kids. But you can't be running your company like that. If you do, you will. And I'm happy that the stock is split the way it is now, because if you left everything in Eric's hands like it was back then, we'd be right back to square one.
It'd be all fugazi.
Exactly, because he didn't take care of business appropriately back then, and he's certainly not doing it now. All he can think about is his limp Petey bird who get his limp Petey bird working, and that's as far as his brain goes. He don't take care of nothing force related.
This man, this old ass matriarch, the only stories he's had that I can recall all been about his dick.
Pretty much.
Wait a minute, what Sam say? What you say?
For the last few years, all Eric's stories have been about his dick.
Oh, oh yes. You will be correct.
Well, I mean, realistically, from a business perspective, because he owns the same chunk of the company that Steffy do. So he's not the proprietary owner anymore. Okay, granted, yeah, everybody else who has stock will almost always defer to Eric about anything. So we don't have situations where you have different parties involved to the point where they're disagreeing and fighting with each other for control or to make business decisions. They don't do that with Forrester no more. That was actually part of the point of Bill getting his hands on Donna's share, was for him to just be there to create chaos whenever something went down. So Eric, all he does is design. He doesn't actually manage. Steffi and Ridge do all the damn legwork. That's really, really obvious. So what else is there for his old ass to do other than think about where he gonna get laid? There's nothing else for him to do.
That's always his problem with Stephanie.
Huh?
That was always his problem with Stephanie, though. Like, his problem was that he felt like he wasn't getting enough, and her problem was he was thinking too much about it and wasn't thinking about nothing else. Like, that's what you was going out there to get for your hookers, right? So
he's in the same damn position. Old as hell in his only priority. It ain't his family, it ain't his kids, it's his boner.
Yeah.
What is his dick, Sam?
Sam is out there.
What is a man without his penis, Sam? Eric is 77 years old. That's all he's got these days. That's really going for him. It's his Petey bird.
When you put it that way, that's why he about had a nervous breakdown when his erectile dysfunction happened. He ain't had nothing else but that.
Right, that's all.
He couldn't even draw stick figures. He was so out of touch. He just couldn't function.
Eric tried. You know what? I just got this terrible picture of Eric going to the kitchen at his house, and when he opened the kitchen, he see a cucumber and bust out crying.
That's how your granddaddy
Nobody sent him any eggplant emails, okay?
Eggplant, cucumber, anything like that. I think, because Eric's purpose at this point is to just, to design in the background, not to have it be a big deal, and for him to be worried about when he's getting laid, who he's getting laid with, and if he can get it up. That's pretty much all there is for him now.
Y'all which I find in the elderly like this,
which is ridiculous, because when I think of all the other patriarchs who are like in his age group, I just be like, I could not imagine Victor Kiriakis carrying on like this.
No. You can't. But what we do get is Victor Kiriakis raising hell. And if Victor ain't doing it, he got his wife on the job.
Well, yeah, Victor,
so we get stuff out of Victor, Victor Newman, that ain't cheating on their wives at 100 years old.
Oh no, they need. Well, that's the thing. Him and Nikki are settled business. They not breaking up. No time. The only thing that's gonna break up Nikki and Victor at this point is death. The show has no interest whatsoever and splitting them up. They are content to leave Victor and Nikki together, which technically they should, because we already had 30 plus years of them breaking up, getting remarried, breaking up and getting married. At some point, you either gonna be married or you gonna be broke up.
They did Destiny right. Victor and Nikki is how you do Destiny. They had
You find it and you keep it. You don't.
Right.
You shouldn't still be finding it at 70.
they
No, because it would be ridiculous.
last
If you
time
still
they
finding
broke up,
Destiny at 70, you need to let it go.
and now when they break up, it's more because Nikki is drinking and she pushing people away. It's not because Victor found some new young chick or Nikki fell on somebody's Petey Bird. No, she
Because
fell.
remember when they had an open relationship?
Yes, she was fooling with Ray brother.
Mm-hmm. I loved it when they had an open relationship.
So they done did all you gonna do.
Yep.
And they still together. And to me, I feel like that's true destiny. Not the stuff that Bold has been trying to sell us for years and years and years on What's a McGiggle and Hazel Frazzle over there. Every other day they breaking up. Every other, y'all know, I went back, I was going back looking for Thomas and Douglas and Hope, some scenes from like 2019. I was doing some looking. Do you know that Brooke and Reg was broke up in 2019? Y'all doing the same shit they doing right now. That's what.
Yeah, with Bill.
Yeah, it was about the kids.
Yeah, with
It was
Bill.
about the kids.
They do the same shit every other year.
Yeah.
People are
Yeah.
tired of it.
In the last few years, the breakups have always been about men and Brooke. The last two were about Bill and Brooke. The last one was about Brooke and Deacon. So there's like a common denominator there. I mean, so even once Ridge, because when the whole reason Brooke and Ridge had problems was because they could not agree about Thomas. And then it got worse because Brooke was basically trying to hijack hijack the man's child, which unfortunately was a success that will always stick in my call. And then on top of that, she kissed Bill, and then Ridge was getting close to Shauna, and then she took her ring off, and it was a whole damn mess. And it was like, yes, you were right. Literally, every year there is like on a calendar somewhere, they're like, okay, so when we gonna break up Bridge? It's a new year. We gotta break them up. So you tell me which quarter we doing this in.
It feels to me like they plan the breakup while they're putting them back together. Okay, Ridge is gonna go back to Brooke, but let's just go ahead and set it up here where. And Sam is fixing to get sick and go on silent when I say this. But let's just set it up to where Taylor gets involved with Deacon the way she got involved with Nick all those many years ago. And Brooke loses her shit because, well, what is Deacon doing with Taylor? I can't imagine they have anything in common. And she's
I made a tweet about that, Bubbles. I made a tweet about that. You right. The Bridge whole relationship is when they get together, they can't wait to get apart so they can do this whole scenario all over again. So she can yell out, "It's destiny."
Taylor said it years and years ago when Brooke had that damn pop-up wedding at Liam's house for him and Hope. And Steffy was pregnant. Taylor said, well, Brooke, isn't it really just making up to break up? And that's the truth.
Yep, she sure did. In that room, in that bedroom.
Yeah, she said, don't you mean? She's like, you got more rings on your fingers than Super. She told her, you got a wedding ring for every finger that you have. And you talking about your destiny and all this other BS, but isn't it just making up to break up? Because that's what you do. This is what I mean when I say this is one of the aside from the writing problems with Bridge, this is another reason people get aggravated with them. They literally put them back together, drag it out just to break them up less than 30 days after they stick them back together.
Yeah, because and she got a ring for everything just for Bridge alone.
And the last
reason you think people care about Bridge.
That's what I mean. Just put them together and leave them like that. Don't be doing this BS because they do it every year.
Yeah.
And we finally got to the point where the show actually looks like it can write functionally for other characters and other storylines. But didn't you? If you're gonna keep doing this, taking up this oxygen, look. As far as I'm concerned, when they put Eric and Quinn together, they went on back burner for a long, long time, and we only saw them like at events or work things because the truth of the matter is, on bold, 9 times out of 10, if you're supposed to be happy in your relationship, we don't get to see you as much. I would be okay with that for Bridge. It's not just because I don't really care about Brooke, but because I get tired of the amount of oxygen that their story sucks up when all it is just them breaking up to make up, breaking up to make up. Either do something else different with them or just leave them together.
Yep. There's just no stakes left with that couple.
No, not the way they've done it.
I mean, there really is just nothing else left. But
yeah, it's been like that for years.
Unless it's, a debilitating illness.
I feel like we probably would care about Brooke and Ridge. We would probably care about Bridge if they actually gave us something to care about. The breaking up every other year, we're tired of it. Either leave them together and let it be, or break them up and move the fuck on. But we're tired of this every time you look around. People in the real world don't break up and make up like this off and on, even in the worst of domestic violence situations. I can't imagine that y'all gonna do this merry-go-round shit this long until somebody snaps somewhere. Like, I've been to burnt you up in the bed by now. I'm sorry. I'm not doing this with you no more. It's been 35 years of the same bullshit. If they was to put them together for as long as Eric and Quinn were married and they didn't have no problems, Brooke wasn't out here accidentally kissing people, and Ridge wasn't out here getting mad because she was accidentally kissing people, and they wasn't out here making plans to have some kind of weird sex that would lead to Brooke accidentally sexing somebody. Just leave them alone for 7 years to be happy with each other. Show them out here raising these grandbabies, working at the company. Send her ass back to the lab and get some interns. Ashley Abbott got so many damn interns that her niece is concerned about taking somebody's spot. Get Brooke in the chem lab and get her some interns that she can be over working on the next big thing for Forrester. Maybe Belief Part 2. I don't know. And let them be. And then let them break up over something organic. Maybe they just tired of each other after all of this time. They've realized that, we've grown now. We've had this time together. And I'm starting to think that this destiny ain't what I thought it was. It's not giving what it was giving 35 years ago. We're not the same people. We've grown apart. Let's be friends and just go see what the world holds for us separately. And they break up amicably. There's nobody going back talking about, I didn't mean to take my ring off. Now you hooked up with this person. I'm a backpedaler. It's not going to be none of that. They just going to move forward with their lives. And they go on. RJ ain't gonna come home to Parent Trap and none of that shit. They just gonna mature and move the fuck on.
And that's the thing. When Brooke married Bill, minus the whole Bill having Ridge's ass thrown in the ocean, and whatnot. Brooke, everything seemed like it was, copacetic. Ridge didn't like it, but he had to accept it because Brooke chose Bill, and that was just that. That was okay. Because it was okay for them to be broken up. It was okay for them not to be together. Because he came back off a thundercloud. Well, technically, they had recast him. He came back. He wanted Brooke back. Brooke didn't want him back. And it was all right. It was okay. It's fine. But you know how many people to this day are still disappointed that we didn't get a Ridge? Not a real one, anyway.
You get a what Ridge? You mean Shauna and Ridge?
Shauna and Ridge.
I'm still mad. I'm still mad. Shauna and Ridge had mad freaking chemistry. I mean, chemistry that was not that nobody could deny. You could try, but you would just be lying.
I mean, it was like another pairing option was right there, and it worked. It could have worked. And they just said, yeah, now we're gonna go ahead and pee on this. We're gonna make Shauna a schemer and have her have plotted with Quinn to get Ridge married up, or get him divorced and married up under drunken pretenses, and just make this a whole damn mess. And I was like, y'all ain't even had that to do. Y'all really had to do that to that woman? Y'all really had to do that to that relationship? Just to make Bridge more desirable? Okay, I see what y'all doing, you bastard.
And that's what they're trying to do with Taylor. They got
See,
our beautiful Taylor, beautiful
that's
Doc,
not gonna work with
our
Taylor
original
though.
OG Doc. They got her back just basically to make Bridge a story.
Well, see, but the thing is, it's not gonna work out quite like they want. Because here's the thing: one, I don't know. I know actors get to make choices sometimes, and a lot of the time in how they play their scenes. And the thing is, the entire time from the second that Ridge walked his behind out of her house, specifically after Taylor got back to town, from the minute that happened, Brooke has been running and thirsting to get her husband back at home with her and get her marriage back on track, because having competition in town is always a problem for her. If Taylor, that's why her first official act when Taylor got home was to ask, when the hell you leaving? And being upset when she found out, well, bitch, I'm not going nowhere. That's the thing, though. Brooke is the one who's chasing and dogging and trying to chase Ridge down like a hound chasing a fox. Taylor's not doing that. She's playing it cool. She's letting the chips fall where they may. And I don't know if that's how they scripted it, or if that's just an acting choice that Krista's making for her character. Either way, I'm pleased with it, because when the chips fall and Ridge says what he says, I have the confidence that Taylor's not going to be this destroyed mess because Ridge chose to go back to Brooke and be miserable in Beverly Hills. She'll be okay with it. She'll be fine.
I sure hope so, because I want her to put on another backless shirt, a backless dress, and I want her to go to Il Giardino, because I think that must be the fanciest thing they got in this town anymore. Didn't they used to have a private dining room? No, that was the Newmans. That was
yeah, that was.
And you know what? I just had a thought, y'all, when Darling was talking. When Taylor won't have a problem with it, Rich is gonna have a problem that she doesn't have a problem with it. And he's going to warn her.
I'm gonna go ahead and do what Bubbles would probably do at this moment and say that you have now stumbled upon part of what the point of a potential Taylor Deacon connection is. That is part of the point of it. Part of the point of that is to drive Bridge up the wall, because they've made their choices, okay? Brooke has been really clear. Her husband is it for her. And Ridge has made his choice. He wants to go back to his marriage and back to his wife. So if that's the choices that you've made, what your exes are doing isn't your business, and it's not your concern. When you start acting like that, you start turning into Liam when Steffy started seeing Finn and looking like a whole asshole and disrespecting your spouse.
He still do it.
But the thing is, having that, we've already been down this road before with Taylor, when Taylor fell for Nick and Nick fell for her. We saw just how incapable certain people on this show were of being able to tolerate that relationship, even though they had the destiny that they wanted so bad.
I remember that vividly. I never forget it. I used to say all the time in my head, but you got your destiny. I mean,
exactly.
I mean, literally. I mean, after all these decades, what the fuck is this? I remember hating it. I think that's one of the times I turned off and just didn't turn back on again.
Brooke was absolutely terrible to Taylor after a decade plus of dueling like Jedi over the same damn man. Now, you didn't already deuce Nick out because you're getting back with Ridge, and Nick is single and he's free to do whatever he wants. And if he wants to get to know Taylor, date Taylor, fall in love with Taylor, marry Taylor, that's none of your business. But you couldn't tell Brooke that, and Taylor basically told her. She's like, you with Ridge. Why are you concerning yourself with what the hell Nick is doing with me? Mind your business. Because that's the kind of woman Brooke is.
Deacon. And that's one reason why I don't want Taylor with Deacon, because Brooke is going to be territorial. She pee on every man. And
But
that's how
see,
come Quinn. That's how come Quinn couldn't stay married to Eric because
Now
Quinn was
y'all
not
know
going to
what
live
that
under
is.
Brooke's thumb.
Now
And
y'all know every eligible bachelor in LA has to be pining or being with a Logan at any and every given time. It's just like when Liam moved on with Ivy. Hope had a big problem then. She
Oh,
wasn't happy with Wyatt anymore. All of a sudden, Quinn was just this big problem. Right. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's exactly it. But here's the thing. Considering that Brooke and Ridge are about to get back together after having a breakup that was centered around not just what Sheila did, forget Sheila in the wine and that bullshit, but centered around Brooke basically not being able to prioritize her husband and how he feels about the situation over her ex basically getting carte blanche access to her house when he doesn't need it. She cannot afford, after the months of that shit, that she finally came to the conclusion that she needed to ban Deacon from the property. That tells me that she figured out what the problem is after acting stupid and pretending like she couldn't understand what the problem is for months. So if Ridge and Brooke individually have a problem with Taylor or Deacon, they are both going to be in the position of trying to conceal that from each other because they're going to play themselves. Brooke cannot let Ridge see for 2 seconds that he has a problem with Deacon dating somebody else, even if it's Taylor, because that undoes all that work she just did to get his silly ass back to Beverly Hills. Likewise, Ridge, he can't tell Taylor what to do. And Taylor gonna be the first one to freaking tell him, you can't tell me what to do. You married. You's married now. You
But
can't
Ridge
tell me
is
what
not gonna
to do.
have no problem telling Brooke that he don't want Deacon around Taylor. I do not think Ridge is gonna be hiding that
Oh,
from Brooke. I think Ridge
he
is gonna be walking around town, beating his chest, screaming at everybody that'll listen that Deacon has been over at the Clip House, trying to be a part of Taylor's life.
I didn't
He's not
he
gonna
tell.
keep
may
that secret.
if he do it, then that's gonna be an issue because here's the thing. Where does the hypocrisy start and where does it stop? Because Brooke is not going to be able to tell Ridge she has a problem with Deacon being with Taylor.
Being
But Ridge,
hypocritical has never stopped Brooke.
but if Ridge feels comfortable enough telling Brooke that he has a severe problem with Deacon being with Taylor, well, somebody 2 and 2 ain't coming up to 4. Somebody gonna have to explain themselves. Somebody in that one of those two people in that relationship is gonna have to explain the hell out of themselves. Because I'll be honest, and God knows I don't side with Brooke over nothing in this world. But if I was Brooke in that situation, I'd be like, okay, what's the difference? We're married. There are exes. If they're seeing each other, is it really our business? You're telling me I need to not be concerned myself with what the hell Deacon Sharp is doing, but you're concerned about what the hell Taylor Hamilton is doing. So, which they're both our exes. We both have children with our exes. So, who's the hypocrite here? Oh, Ridge is
Well, hey, it ain't gonna be
Ridge,
none of that. I mean, when
Ridge
can a
is gonna
woman
try
on
to
this
do
show
it.
actually make common sense? That's not gonna happen. Never.
I don't know.
Mm-mm.
Because Brooke is not going to be able to be upfront about having a problem. Because Brooke is not going to be able to be upfront about having a problem with Taylor and Deacon if that is the way the wind ends up blowing.
She's gonna do the same thing she did when Taylor married Nick. She's gonna walk around huffing and puffing in the bedroom when she should be busting it down for Ridge. She gonna be huffing and puffing about Taylor and Nick and what's going on in their relationship. And Ridge is gonna get irritated like he did before. And then she's gonna be the one that ends up getting Ridge all up under the collar. I can't believe you don't have a problem with her being with Deacon. And now he has a problem with her being with Deacon. So now you done set your destiny to go bust up his ex-wife and your ex because y'all don't want them together. Ain't y'all supposed to be happy with each other? Y'all even.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing. They not happy with each other. I haven't seen them happy except for the times they smile and giggle and kiss. But their real life, day in and day out, is filled with battles between Ridge, Hope, Steffy, Hope, Liam Thomas, all of them. That relationship is just garbage from the top to the bottom. I don't see
It
nothing
is.
positive in it.
Once Deacon stood up there and he shows that he's not going to be all about Team Brooke, is when she gonna have a problem with it. Yeah.
Yep.
He definitely gonna have a problem with it because now he done pledged his allegiance. So as far as she know now, he all Team Brooke. But once he become buddy with Taylor, she gonna have a big problem.
See, and my thing is this: we don't even know for certain. I can't even say for certain that we're going to get anything romantic out of Taylor and Deacon at all. For all we know, they could end up actually being friends who commiserate over having things in common that they never had in common before. Because, like I said, in 20 plus years, those two characters ain't had nothing to say to each other until now.
That's what I said, but y'all told me to shut up because Deacon
I didn't say that.
And I said it ain't about being worthy. It's about finding a common bond with somebody. And
I think the last time something was said was about when Deacon was with Bridget. And that was when he was messing around with Brooke.
Yeah, exactly. All them years ago. So I mean, there's just not two characters that have anything to really do with each other. Or really to say they don't have it. There's no common point where their lives intersect. Or it hasn't been. Now, the recent events that's been happening on the show, now things are a little bit different. They both tried to give Sheila the benefit of the doubt, and that blew up in their face, carte blanche. And yes, there is the little added point that yes, Deacon was the one who called the emergency services to try to save Steffy and Finn. So, and they are not to mention with Sheila being on the loose, honestly, being Sheila's enemy, having been quote unquote Sheila's friend is almost as dangerous as having been her enemy.
That's probably the only thing they're gonna have in common. That's probably what's gonna spark their friendship, their kinship, is because they both was friendly with Sheila and she on the loose. So they're gonna put their heads together to figure out where she at.
No, when Brooke and Ridge get back together, Taylor and Deacon gonna be lonely. They're gonna run into each other at Il Giardino and start talking. And just like everybody's saying, it's gonna be a friendship. And hopefully that's all it is, because I don't want Deacon putting his lips on her. And if that's the case, I'm good. I'm good with it. If Deacon and Taylor becomes friends and Brooke and Ridge lose their mind, I'm happy for it. Just long as Taylor is, happy with her family and her kids and is not being dragged down by the Bridges.
I don't think.
Damn. No, you didn't.
What?
No, you didn't just jump ship on me like that, girl. No, we can't.
No, because I said friends. I said friends. Never kiss. I don't want Deacon's lips on Taylor. I don't want Deacon touching
me
her.
neither. Oh no.
In a sexual way. I don't want him touching her. Period. I don't want Deacon's hands on
She said she was okay with them being friends.
I thought she said as long as she happy and they can get down to get nasty or something. I thought that's what I heard.
No, no. I do not. I repeat, I don't want Deacon touching Taylor. Not the Princess of Morocco. No.
Okay.
I mean,
no.
Bubbles.
I mean,
Bubbles, I don't know. Bubbles, I don't know what the hell you're going to do with this with the drinks the day after we have. If Taylor and Deacon ever become anything more than friends, I don't know what you're gonna do.
Me and Tan be in time at somewhere down there in the damn chat.
We gonna be in the support group.
I'm gonna watch that show live in the yard. It's gonna be like when they break through the show because the news something important comes on. You're gonna see a tweet breaking news. We're in the yard right now as Taylor, Hamilton, Hayes, Forrester, Maroney, Princess Layla, Queen of Morocco, prepares to undress, unwind, and bust it down for Deacon Sharp.
Oh my God!
Make sure they have
local shenanigan maker.
Oh my God! No.
I'm a business suit and everything, so it's gonna be like the real news.
Well, you gotta have a psychiatrist chair somewhere for me to lay down on.
You're gonna be okay. We'll see you some drugs because you're gonna need
I'm gonna need.
We are not finna have Taylor in her good 50s slumming it with Mr. Deacon.
Not the
it's
toilet
not
scrubber,
retarded.
the toilet scrubber, ex-con, homeless, sleeping in a broom closet. That's what I'm talking about.
Y'all gonna
I
be
would rather
so-
Taylor bust it down for Bill Spencer on the Stella Maris.
We can't do that, okay? Yes,
y'all
so
be so
I'm gonna need Stella Maris, aka the Steffi, to go ahead.
The Stephanie.
Look,
Bill so crazy.
when Dr. Taylor, Ashford, Hamilton, Hayes, Forrester, Rashid, Forrester, Moroni, Jones, Princess of Morocco, says, Deacon, I never thought that this would ever happen.
But child,
Bubba,
if she ran
you and this
she never
violence
felt
that you
passion
are
like this.
evoking.
Now, what if Taylor come out saying that she never felt passion the way she felt with Deacon?
Right. Because you know,
Oh
Deacon,
Lord, I don't know.
Damn,
Now see, I
damn,
don't know if they're gonna let it go that
damn,
far because there's two things in this show that always
I'm
say the
sorry,
truth.
Ken.
Men who was with Brooke always think Brooke was the best thing, and women with Ridge who was with Ridge always think he was the best in bed. Nobody else is allowed to top either
Oh
one of them.
God! Because as records will show, that is what Miss Brooke Hogan did say about Deacon all those years ago, honey.
Deacon know how to put it
To
down.
lay it down.
Deacon know how to put it down, hunty. And Taylor ain't had a piece since when? She
Eric,
that fixing to be the best
and
thing.
say what
You
you
know,
want
she
with
a born
that.
again virgin. This fixing to be the best thing she done had since 1990. When they introduced her character, 92. This fixing to be the best thing she done had since bottled Coca-Cola.
Y'all about to kill me tonight.
It's gonna be the best thing she done had since somebody said, Taylor, have you had a Whataburger? She gonna be like, I don't know. John
Oh my God.
Digging fix to be that junk food fix. You know, you be on your diet from January all the way through till you hang out even past the 4th of July, but then Thanksgiving come and your auntie make your grandmama dress
You
it.
know what,
And then
Steve?
you be like, I just can't. That's gonna be Taylor. She ain't had her grandmama's dressing in a long time. And Deacon got a whole pan full of that cornbread goodness.
Oh
If
yes, because you really are choosing
Steffy
violence.
touched his statement talking about some wait till Taylor add Sharp to her last name. You know
Oh
what?
Lord.
No.
Why y'all rolling like y'all about to have the Infinity Wars up in here?
Dr.
No,
Taylor, Ashford, Hamilton, Hayes, Forrester, Rashid, Forrester, Moroni, Jones, Princess of Morocco, Sharp.
Y'all know what? I'm rebuked.
For all that, they might as well bring Rick First out of retirement and and get whipped back and say he never forgot about Taylor for all that. Now, one thing
I don't want Whip old bitch ass. No, Whip is a loser. Whip is a loser.
Whip
well,
didn't
look.
get the poon and he was about the poon. I can't. Yeah.
Whip is a no. Whip is a no. They need to bring back that doctor she had, Pierce.
Yes,
Or James Warwick.
Always my first choice. Played by Paul Satterfield. Hot damn.
But
or
Paul,
James
girl,
Warwick.
have you seen him lately? I still love Paul Satterfield. I'm gonna always love the image of that man and them Speedos standing on that board in the middle of that lake on Creep Show. If y'all never saw it,
Girl,
see
yes, that yellow Speedo was legendary.
Speedo, that's all he had on, and that's all my little 12-year-old brain remember was Paul Satterfield's yellow Speedo. But he teaches now, and he's not wearing Speedos or tankinis even. I don't
Well,
think.
Girl, it ain't the 80s no more. I mean, well,
But
come on.
Ron Martin famous for them damn Speedos.
You know, but Don still be trying to wear his Brad Carlton Speedos. He ain't broke character. I'm just saying, Paul went and said, fuck this, I'm relaxing. I'm fixing to sit here and be a normal guy, get my dad bottom. He's still cute. But just when you see him, you're like, oh, look, y'all, Pierce got old. He found happy man with that girl that could cook. Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe Taylor needs a hot girl summer with how about that waiter at Il Giardino? Everybody would just be okay with Taylor having a private affair with someone nobody knows.
Why I gotta be
Mm-hmm.
nobody though? You want her with a nobody, but
Mm-hmm.
you can be with Deacon
Over
and start
Deacon,
some
over
shit.
Deacon, yeah,
Deacon
You
over
is
know
Deacon,
what?
because I'm sure that
Girl,
guy
wait
has
a
a home.
second.
He got a
Congratulations.
higher position
For
than
the guy
Deacon,
who cleans
and
her
he ain't
El
feeling that
Georgino
stomach.
is not enough, but she can go fool with the waiter. Girl.
You know what, Sam?
Deacon is
You don't, Sam, you gonna stay out my brain because I said when they brought Taylor back, and if they brought back her real baby daddy, Taylor was gonna know who he was. Cause Miss I've been around the world, she gonna know him. Watch.
Child,
Watch
don't
what I
nobody
tell
want to
you.
be. Don't ain't nobody trying to take over that baby child. Let her have that thing, and don't care who the baby daddy is at that point. But Taylor needs a hot girl fling like Katie had with Wyatt. Something that nobody know about.
Some
It's just
young
between
tenders
the two
meat.
but
adults.
she was trying to
It could be young. It could be old.
yoke up Wyatt. They was trying to get married, honey. She wasn't
Well,
having
yeah,
no.
but that was afterwards. But in the beginning, it was just two grown people just being grown. I would love to see Taylor being grown, just being in a romantic little position with a little tender, a little young tender, and just have some fun with that. I
Well,
mean,
she
I don't.
fixing to be
I'm
grown
grossed
as
out by
fuck with
Deacon.
Deacon, girl. Hold on, it's coming. She fixing to be grown as fuck with Deacon. They gonna go on
Child.
Yeah,
motorcycle
but
rides. He gonna
they
teach her
just not
how to
on the
do
same
kung
level.
fu.
They just not on the same level to me. I just see a square hole and a round peg. Deacon and
Well,
Taylor just to me just
the,
don't fit.
the right kind of lube will make it work. That's all
You
I'm
right,
It's
honey. You
on
right.
here
You
with
definitely right about that. Let me say
Mm-hmm.
that again. The
He
right
just
kind to
need
get
to,
it in there.
he just need to grease it up right and you know, put on the back of a motorcycle and take her on a,
Yeah,
you
but
know,
that's gonna be painful for Taylor.
he gonna shut up. He gonna do stuff for her that ain't nobody else done before, like
Uh-uh.
little silk
No,
Yeah,
no,
screen.
break it.
Zendaya and Taylor. No, no, sir. That used to be his auntie.
So
He
what?
gonna
So
No,
damn
no,
what?
no,
They is not
Sam,
related.
no. Don't do
And
it. Don't do
Zendaya
it,
is
Sam.
single. And why not? I like Zendaya. I think Zendaya should
I
put
know
him
you
with
do.
Look,
Jamal.
Zendaya
I
and
love it.
I
Taylor.
I
like
love
them
that
day
idea.
too, but no,
Oh
he got his
hell
nose
no.
open for Paris.
Hold
No,
on. I
that's
gotta write
no.
this
He
down.
her technical nephew.
Did she say Zendaya and Taylor?
That
Girl,
was
You
Read
right.
the comments.
Stefan.
Stephen said that.
who
Stephen said
That,
that
is
in the
that,
chat.
bringing in here?
that's
Stefan.
Stefan in the comments with all this blasphemy.
Stefan,
And
you
so,
ain't drinking, baby. It's drinks the day after. You got to wait till tomorrow to get that kind of drunk.
Well,
oh,
I'm gonna need something now after what I had to deal with for a couple of minutes.
Zendaya and Taylor.
Listen,
You
I am
got
not
I'm
to
mad
gonna
wait
at
throw
the
some
till
of
woman
this
other
extra
than
tomorrow.
soda
Zendaya.
water on him because he is out here in these comments with all this violence,
Y'all said
this
I'm a
evilness.
but Stefan is going for people's throats and necks.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all
Hearing
want to
about
talk
all
about
that violence
violence?
up there.
Y'all want
I'm
to talk
not
about
trying to.
violence?
I am not trying to have Taylor be like Brooke, who can't find nothing outside of the immediate circle. Not
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, because like
Somebody.
that just leads to more of everybody sharing all the same penises. Everybody doing
Yeah.
it. It's gross. I mean, can I have
Honestly,
one dick that
I
everybody ain't had? I just want one. I just want one to call my
Hell,
own
I
that I
didn't
can
even
claim.
like Taylor when she was with Eric. When during that time when Steam got married the second time. I didn't even like that then. That was not a cute look for me.
Yeah, I didn't really like Taylor with Eric either. I didn't understand that relationship. Like Eric just be trying to dip his shit in everything Rich has had. I feel like if Caroline had lived, he probably would have tried to get with Caroline too. So him going with Taylor, I guess shouldn't have been
Yep.
no surprise because that's his MO.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it
Yeah.
is his MO. Indeed. Indeed.
But at least
But
he get Donna fresh because Donna was only paired with Thorne. Donna hadn't had sex with Ridge, so in a way, she's cleaner for Eric because she's only had crushes on Ridge, and Brooke made sure that Donna never slept with Ridge. Only she and Katie hold that honor. So Eric got one that Ridge ain't been in. He's lucky. He got lucky. He picked the right Logan out there with a little bottle of honey.
I think we need to teach these Logan fans some history lesson because there's a Logan in my comments talk about some. Oh, when did Brooke ever hurt Steffy?
Wait a
Anybody
minute.
got
Wait a minute. Who said that lie?
Look all the way down at my tweets.
must be somebody who don't really watch a lot.
Right.
Maybe or recently, I guess. Because Brooke and Steffi have never liked each other for a lot of reasons. Not since Steffi hit puberty. And well, yeah. Brooke would throw Steffi under a bus. It's doubly so if it was just because, but doubly so if it was for hope's sake.
And then she'll lie about it and say, I didn't know that bus was going to run over her. I thought she was.
I didn't know he was going to go over the balcony. I just pushed him away on the balcony.
Right.
But that's the way it always happens for her. She didn't mean to.
Exactly.
So Eric automatically believes it.
We're entertaining that mess. Wait, I wanted to talk a little bit about Young and the Restless before we bug out. Because we got 5 minutes left. So we didn't get no Young and the Restless promo over the weekend when we got that good bold one for Finn. But they dropped it today, and I see why. So apparently, Ashley gonna come. Victoria then came her ass back. The Canadian look ahead. Basically, she does fess up and tell her family what she did, and her intention is to give that money back to her father. And it's gonna be a mess because here's the thing. Adam ain't feeling none of it because he could see the bullshit writing on the wall. So when Victoria come back at the end, she's saying, well, there need to be some changes. That, she's ready to come. Basically, she says she's ready to come back, run the company, and heed Victor's advice because he is a good consigliere. But she also feels like Nick needs to come back to the family business.
That's never been Victoria, though. Victoria has always wanted Nick out and her in because Victor always preferred Nick running the business over her.
But see, here's the thing. Her problem right now is this. She would rather have Nick in than Adam in because Nick is loyal to her. Regardless of what she has to worry about her dad, Nick is loyal to his sister. He will never knife her in the back, not for business. Anyway, not these days.
Okay, I'm going to have you put a pin in that.
Right. So
why not? It's the only one I watch the most.
Previous years, definitely not. But at this stage, Nicholas is completely detached from Newman Enterprises. He's got his own business. He has no horse in the race. He even said that he kind of sort of wished he had stayed. He was still more involved in the business because if he had more skin in the game, he would be able to help Victoria out and help affect this situation that's going on. He's not saying that for him. He's saying it to help the family, to help his sister. He ain't interested in Newman Enterprises for himself, period, at this point. So
watch this space.
Okay, so Victoria at this point is thinking it's a better idea to have Nick involved in the business with her than Adam because she can't control Adam. She can't dictate to Adam. Adam is not going to is not going to basically set himself on fire to keep her warm like Nicholas would at this point. But so her whole plan is to get Nick back, or get herself back in and get Nick back in. And I think conveniently leave Adam ass on the side of the road like the redheaded stepchild that he is.
They need to get off of Adam's ass already.
Exactly. And so that leads to Adam and Ashlyn actually having a common agenda. Specifically in the promo, Adam is talking to Ashlyn after he shaved off his little beard and goatee and everything. And he basically
Ashlyn clean shaven now?
He gonna be by tomorrow, I think. Because
Victoria always had hair on his face on the other show.
I know, but Victoria got his mind right. When you lose $250 million and get played for a chump, yeah, I think shaving your beard is definitely going to be something on your list of things.
When they remove facial hair, that means that's a change in the character. So something slight that they can change that you can see as a mark in time. And we will look back at this moment and be like, y'all know when he shaved his face, that's when he really brought on that fucking Loch Ness monster everybody was talking about. and now shit's going down because Richard Burge didn't have no facial hair. So it was 6
He was
to 1.
very handsome too. Very
He
handsome.
was clean shaven when he came in. So maybe they could say during the whole fake cancer thing, he grew facial hair, but now he's shaving to get back to who he was before he fell in love with Victoria. But yeah, he's getting ready to drop the hammer. At least I hope so. I need some kind of payoff on one of these damn shows. I need Ashlyn to make the Newmans feel it, or I need Sheila to steal a baby, or I need Quinn to choke somebody out, or I need Finn to go on and find Steffy already. I need a payoff now.
I know.
Yeah, because there's been a lack of payoffs. We have literally been raving about how good the show has been since April. There's always something happening. But what has been happening these past few weeks is that the payoffs have literally not happened. All these big events now. I still can't get past Quinn catching Eric in bed with Donna, and that's what we got out of it.
Right.
No, you're not wrong about that. You're not wrong about that at all. Because that's the thing. It's a deflated payoff. It's like, yes, quarter happened,
they got us
but look what happened. But they didn't give any kind of payoff for Eric getting caught with his pants down.
Right. I mean, that conversation, some people may say, oh, well, Eric's 100 years old. It was appropriate. It's not damn appropriate when he just got caught sleeping with a side chick and a bottle of honey. So I felt robbed. That just was not equal to me. You don't have a wife bust in on her husband cheating on her and then end it without a bitch getting capped. You just don't do that. I mean, there should have been some violence, some slaps across the face, some throwing of some furniture, screams of I'm going to divorce you, I'm going to take everything you got, all the threats under the sun. But we got a logical conversation. That's not why I watch soaps. So I was very let down for that. So I literally said, oh,
if they wanted to go that route, they didn't need to have Eric having this drawn out ass affair and Quinn catching them in bed. If that's the kind of conversation, if that's the way they wanted Quirk to end.
Exactly. If they was going to end it this kind of way, why didn't they just end it this way in their living room? Why you get us all hyped up with the bust in on having an affair and we don't get that kind of a reaction from the players? That reaction did not match what happened. Period. We all know that. It didn't match. It was like fish.
No, it doesn't.
Fish out of water. Those two things should not have went together. But I said, okay, fuck it. We'll see the fallout on the other end when Quinn gets to the wedding. Bust in and let's see what happens. Let's see what Paris gonna do. What we got was her crying. Grace did slap Carter, but again, there was nothing else after that. It was just like, oh, okay, so now everybody knows and it's over. I know that Quinn and Carter was supposed to be the high, them getting together. But what about for us agents that love chaos? Where's the chaos that ensues?
Right. I needed somebody to yell or at least throw something. Nobody even threw anything. Quinn just sat there like, oh, well, you're with Donna and you've been with Donna this whole time. And
I was worried about you. I do
love Carter. Yeah, I'm in love with Carter. You're absolutely right. Oh, I should go get Carter. Okay, let me go. Thanks for the chat, hon.
Yeah. It was trash.
That was the craziest shit I've never seen. I've never seen a wife catch her husband in bed and that's how it go down. Not on no soap opera.
Because Stephanie Douglas would never.
Ever. No. The only time I could see something like this happening is you catch your husband in bed with another man. Then it's a whole different set of problems. It's like
right. And then you might want some answers. Then you might be calmed down enough to actually want some answers.
And be like, okay, when this happened,
you and your boyfriend.
when the hell did this happen? What the hell? All the time it was Bill sleeping with my man. When did this go on? How did I miss this? Yes. But this other man, but the mess the way no, because that's the thing. There was supposed to be two I guess you could say two climaxes to that story, and we only got one, which was Quarter, her busting up the wedding, and Quarter, getting back together like, we wanted them back together, long term. But yeah, we got cheated on the announcement of Eric and Donna being lying scuzzballs.
Right, because we immediately go to Katie congratulating Donna for her feat of stealing Quinn's husband.
Because it wasn't sorted or anything.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
was
adultery.
pure.
Right.
And joyful.
Pure. So sweet.
You know, and so that's just that to me, it just makes me scream that this is what the writers put out of the Logans' mouths when they cheat with other women's husbands. But when Quinn cheated, boy, I mean, she had rain and hellfire and brimstone rain down on her for months, didn't she? Just like Steffi.
It was the end of the
So
world as
Donna's
we
going
know
to
it.
get her job back, and she's going to get Quinn's husband and whatever else she wants.
So we're gonna see, probably. But honestly, at this point, it's like this. I wish there was some sort of soap. This soap doesn't do too well with karma sometimes. So there's not like there's gonna be any karmic justice for Eric and Donna and their bullshit.
Don't look like it.
No. It looks like they really did just want them as a vehicle to break up Quirk so Quarter could have a shot, which is fine because I really felt like Quirk should have ended last year any damn way. I just didn't like the fact that he drug her back just to do this S.
Right.
Well,
so yeah, she had to be done dirty again just to get Carter in the end. Ooh, our theme music.
Is that
yes, I believe that's our cue.
That is our cue to wrap it up, and we'll come back tomorrow. Thank y'all for coming and chatting and getting into this mess. Tomorrow, we'll definitely have to spend some more time on GH because today was awesome.
Oh, I saw that. Everybody but the queen ended up in the pool. That was hilarious.
That was fun.
All right. Well, we will see y'all tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in.
Good night, everybody.
I'll be the same.
Good night. Have a good one, y'all.
Good night, guys.